The Council has assembled. They are eager to hear your report.
Hello, welcome to the Council. Thanks for joining us. We begin tonight's meeting of the Council by calling the Council to order. Hello to everyone, and thanks for joining us. The Council is a live Twitch talk show and podcast discussing Star Wars: The Old Republic. I'm Elise, and with me are my fellow Council members, Sechari.
Hello, everybody, and I think I unmuted. Heck yeah! I'm seeing green lines. That's a good thing. Hello.
Redna.
Hey, I'm on.
And Magic Ace.
I unmute and mute, nonstop, constantly. It's a never-ending thing. But hi, how are you? It's great to be here.
Tonight we're going to talk about two things. It's been a while since we've done two things. Sechari's going to give us a recap of the Bad Feelings South by SWTOR event that was last weekend in Austin. And then we're going to talk about character customizations and the character creator, which character creators are my loves. So, yay.
And after this episode, you can find our live episodes anywhere, our recorded episodes anywhere recorded episodes are found, including our website, thecouncilswotor.com. You can check out all of our social media like Twitch, just in case if you haven't heard of it, with Council SWTOR on Twitch. Also, you can look us up on Twitter, which is at thecouncilswotor.com. But wait, there's more. There's patreon.com/thecouncilswotor and facebook.com/thecouncilswotor. And if you just generally Google us or look up Magic Ace, you'll find us everywhere. It's wonderful, really.
Yes, indeed. All right, well, that gets us started for the night. What I want to do with the character recap, I just had an idea just to show some pictures that I had, make it super quick, and then just get into the episode for the night. But I know that a lot of people have been asking me, hey, what all happened? What did you get? How did it work? So there's some cool things to talk about as we get this thing started. Let me be super quick and talk about how, here's the first of the pictures. Everybody was hanging out. It was kind of dark in there.
He says super quick, but really what he's saying is, let me rub this in your face for those of you who didn't get to be there.
Wait till we get to the prizes. But yes, it was really cool. We were just hanging out. Everybody was having fun. I got a chance to meet some people. I took some selfies. That's Charles walking up to the mic right there, and Brian and Chuck up front. Try to get a couple of 3 shots. Eric Musco seemed to avoid my camera everywhere I could take a picture. So I was able to shoot one of him, I think, in the whole entirety of the thing, and I couldn't get a selfie with him. But I took a bunch of selfie pictures as well. Charles Boyd is very good at Star Wars trivia, and he did a whole... whenever there's the giveaways, it's all the swag is there on the table behind him. They actually had a collector's edition of the game. That's what that box is. T-shirts galore, all kinds of cool things. So he started asking the questions, and whenever he starts doing that, it's amazing how, even the 101 questions, the stuff that everybody's talking about, people can't seem to get the answer.
But were they as brutal as when I was there last time? When there was a bad feeling.
This round, surprisingly, they weren't, because he just kept it to the game. And then at some point, I was like, "Hey, ask the ice cream maker question."
That's right. What?
Yeah. So he actually did ask it, and he told us about it. Incidentally, just so everyone knows what we're talking about, there is a person in, I believe it's the Empire Strikes Back, on Cloud City, running around with an ice cream maker, like a literal ice cream maker. He's running around. I don't know what he's doing, but anyway. So it's pretty Charles's knowledge of Star Wars minutia is amazing. There is me and my fiance Aracea. We are hanging out with Chuck and Brian. Really cool. Chuck has changed his beard, by the way, a little bit. The last time I saw him, he had a little bit of something on the sides, and he's kind of honed it in. So he was looking really good. There's Musco. I did actually catch him in the wild. I asked him a few questions. I know some things I'm not allowed to repeat, which is always half the fun of these things. Isn't that so, Elise?
Yeah.
I missed having you there, because I know you grill him a lot harder than I do. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I had the same shirt on that night as Charles Boyd, so I had to get a selfie of the two of us wearing the uniform. Kind of cool. We had Tank Mike Golf was there. Those of you who know the streamer, he was hanging out there, and he and his wife are hilarious. They bicker constantly, but they're like a blast. It's like so humorous. It's hilarious. So they are fantastic. I had a lot of fun just listening to them and hanging out with them. And then, of course, I got Zamzam was there as well, and I was able to hang out with Zamzam, get a selfie with her, and we just hung out, and just everybody just was in circles talking about different things. It's very much a cantina kind of setting where you try to separate out everybody and get, and then, you have Musco in one group and Charles Boyd in another group, and everyone's trying to grill them for as much information as possible. So it was cool.
All I would be saying is, can you guys please tell me something that I can hold on to forever, and I'll never tell another soul. Just give me something. I want to feel special for once. And it'd be like, I promise I'm not crazy. I'm not stalking you. And I'd just sit right there next to him.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I'm fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. I'd just be waiting to hear something, and then I'd just feel okay with myself. I probably shouldn't go to any of those things. That'd be bad.
You'd be amazed. So let me talk a little bit about the prizes. There was a few of these here, and I managed to grab myself one of these. I've always wanted these. This is, I don't know if those of you who've been around for a long time know of the Master SWTOR movies. They're like the lead up to SWTOR things where he's talking about what happened in the 300 years between the end of KOTOR 2 and when SWTOR gets started. All of those movies that used to be on the website, you can actually find them now in YouTube. I will try to see if I can post a link when we do the show notes of of what's online about those. But this is the whole thing in book format, which is really cool. So they actually have a few of these. That was really awesome. And one of the grand prizes for the night, which I managed to snag, only because somebody else tried to take a shot at it. So here, the question was, hey, name all of the Gods of the Machine bosses from start to finish, right? That seems like a very easy thing. And somebody else tried and they bogged down at Avila and Esni and couldn't get it. And I thought, I can do this, so I'll just jump on this.
Wait, does pronunciation count? Because I could see someone missing because they mispronounced the third one.
Hoot. which isn't, no kidding. So they got to me, I was like, I got this. And I blasted all the way through to Isaac's, and then I stopped dead. I had this cold sweat. I just suddenly, my brain went dead. I couldn't think of his name. And then I think somebody might have whispered it. It was on the wind, trying to help me out. So I managed to pick up somebody's help. Anyway, I didn't even know what I was shooting for.
So you admit to cheating on the council.
Dude,
we
I'm
do
Sechari.
not.
That's what I do.
We do not condone Sechari's behavior. Please don't judge the rest of us based on him. Thank you.
Okay, so here's the coolest thing. I didn't even know what I was shooting for. It turned out that it was one of these pictures. I don't know if everybody's seen these. This was the New York cantina picture that they had. Look at the signature on there. That's Timothy Zahn.
What's the picture?
It's a
poster.
It's a chiss. Yeah, it's just a poster.
Oh,
Timothy Zahn signature.
I got the same thing, buddy.
Well, I didn't.
Hey, this one is mine.
Out here.
This one's getting framed.
And my husband got one too because he was reading.
Can you make a copy of it, Sechari? Just photocopy that out and send it to your good friend Magic.
I'll send you a selfie with me and it.
Not what
and you can frame that and put that on your wall.
Now the question is though, did Timothy Zahn hand you a drink
token? No, he didn't. Timothy Zahn did not serve me drinks. Thank you. Just listen to her show.
I got a drink ticket and a signature. From Timothy Zahn.
Because who's passing out alcohol obviously is more important than what signature you get.
Hey, if it's the guy whose signature you want, get him to sign you a drink. It's like a double whammy. So
only if you get to keep the cup, otherwise they're gonna wash it off.
Yeah, no kidding. Anyway, that was the thing. It was a lot of fun. It was just, I'm surprised how early people cleared out of there. A lot of people had driven in, so people were driving back. I think it was 10:30, maybe 11. People were definitely getting out of there. So Aracea and I jumped back in the car and drove the 3 hours back to Dallas. So we got back, and then it was on the daylight savings. So by the time we got home, it was an hour in the future. It was awful. It was yay, we're home at 1 or 2 o'clock, but actually it was 3.
That's a bummer.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a bummer that you got to go. Kirk was supposed to go, but I think he had a date.
Yeah, I mean, like, I met Kirk at the last one that we did. I met you there. Jim was there. Jim Hubby was there.
Were you guys raid buffing?
I don't know how much of a bummer it is that the guy got to, go out and socialize with a woman rather than get drunk with a bunch of gamers.
I know, but still. I mean, it's not bad, but...
He actually has got a good point.
You have to define
I'm
a bunch
dumbfounded.
of gamers.
Yeah.
The way you said it is like, assumed that women weren't in a bunch of gamers. Come on, man.
Yes, but a date versus hanging out with friends.
I was
Well,
like,
what kind of a
take
woman
your
is
date,
she?
do
She should have
it.
taken the
Redna
date.
is
Yeah,
such a
she did the
newlywed.
date.
He was like,
For real.
let it go.
Redna's such a newlywed. It's great.
My husband would be like, let's go. And I'd be like, okay, let's get babysitters. Yes. That's how we roll.
Yeah. So that was the deal. Okay. Let me move on. If anyone wants to ask me any questions, feel free to ask in chat, and I'll try to see if I can get to them. As for the show, let's talk about the icebreaker, which is the question we just kind of asked to get the discussion going for the evening. Tonight's icebreaker question to the group of us. Generally speaking, since the topic is character creation options, how often do you use non-human species when creating characters? That, for example, the Togruta, Cathar, Twi'lek, Zabrak, all of those. And I'm going to, just for the sake of making sure, like, we kind of lump things together, let's have human and cyborg essentially be the same thing. Does that sound fair, Edna? Yeah, it's the same
Sure.
thing. Okay, so how often do you roll something other than a human? Magic.
Sorry, I was typing something. Pretty much always. The only time I ever really roll a human is if I get tired of poor customization choices, because I feel like humans have the superior choices. The one thing that really, really bugs me is that I can't, like, put the tattoos or the, like, marks that, say, like a Sith Juggernaut or a Bounty Hunter has on other, like, characters. Like, that really bugs me. So sometimes I'll roll one of those tunes just so I can have, like, flames on my face or something like that. Even if I don't really want it, I just, I want those marks, so I roll a human. Most of the time, though, I'm going to roll a Chiss. Almost always. I have so many Chiss. I was showing my cousin who is interested in maybe downloading SWTOR, and I was letting him know it was, like, what races I have. He goes, but you have so many of these. What are these? And I'm like, Chiss. Like, I had to go make a new character for him just so he could see options, because all my options are almost all the same.
Everything's
They're
got
all
blue skin.
Chiss. Yeah, and they usually have one of the two colored skins. They either have lavender or they have the extra customizations you could buy on the cartel market where it's like the gray-black skin. Yeah, but I really like a Chiss with flames on the face if they can get on that.
So I've got a question. If you only roll Chiss, does that make you a racist?
Yes, very much so. I'm a speciesist, and I'm okay with that. But I have different color skin Chiss. Okay, they have different skin, so they're not just exclusively one color.
Actually,
You and Marshall.
technically, it's speciesist, isn't it? Like, I guess.
Yeah, so I said I'm a speciesist. Yeah.
A speciesist.
I have to have a specific kind of species. I will never make a cyborg if it's a human. Ever,
Really?
ever. I have never even tried to make one. I've made a Zabrak and it's never gotten past level 12.
Right.
Sorry, but it's not. And I have a Ratataki stuck at level 26 and it has been for 3 years. So, I like hair.
Yes, hair indeed. We'll talk a little bit about hair as we go. We've got a discussion about hair coming, that's for sure. Redna, what about you? Have you rolled anything recently, or how often do you roll stuff that's non-human?
Well, naturally, as the completionist that I tend to be, I have played every single one of the species in order to unlock it on both factions, legacy-wide with all of its options. Beyond that, actually, my buddy who I started playing the game with, he was big into the prequel era novels that followed all the clone troopers and everything, and so his legacy name was Scarata, and so he had Cal Scarata and all the clones that were in this special operations group that ended up turning against the Empire.
Yes.
But
I love it.
So I figured I would do something similar, but rather than being human, I actually made all of mine Marillion, which was particularly enjoyable when I would go to the Imperial side and have my Marillion that was supposed to only be on the pub side, and also its rest and recharge ability was to get down on their hands and knees and glow like a Jedi. So I really enjoyed being a Jedi on the inside.
Wow, you're gonna get lynched or something.
I do like the Sith pure blood because I like to randomly smack people, especially like Malavai Quinn. Like if you're a pure blood, he's like, oh.
Right. I had a friend once who rolled a smuggler Sith pure blood just so that he could backhand a Wookiee. That was his whole point. Really mean,
That would
I guess.
be freaking sweet though. It's like, shut up, Wookiee.
Now, and actually on that end, my main, or who I always consider my main, although it doesn't always get to be, on my favorite character, my first character, was in fact human, with some wickedly awesome chops.
Oh no, not the mutton chops. Oh.
And nothing,
yeah,
and nothing
chop,
here.
The joint with the mustache.
Oh my god,
Yes.
I hate that.
I hate that so much. He got bored one day and was like, hey, Magic, come look at my face while he was streaming. I'm like, okay. He's like, I was bored. And then he shows me a picture of his character. And when I go to his stream, he matches his character. He's got mutton chops and a mustache. I'm like, no, shave it now. Just press pause and go shave now. He did not do it. I was not happy.
Which is why you didn't see it on the council the following day. What can I say?
Elise, let me ask you, what is your when you are rolling a new character, do you tend to be mostly human, or do you tend toward the others?
That's a difficult question. The majority of my characters, the largest percentage is human because they have the most customization.
Okay. Okay.
Especially the hair. Like, I really was unhappy with the hair choices when I started playing before I unlock some things from cartel market purchases.
Yeah, and it sucks that the Mary Ellen do not have the beautiful long hair that the humans do. And the Chiss have it, but somehow Mary Ellens don't. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. I only have one Chiss. No, two. Not a voice of Chiss 2. But I made both of those before I had... I don't have the extra customization options. I haven't unlocked that yet. So, but I have all of the classes because of that. So I don't have a Twi'lek yet. I have too many Togrutas because the unlock came along when I was newly in the game. I think it was my first year playing. So I went and rushed out and bought that, and I had like 5 Togrutas.
And Ahsoka Tano is the bomb, and everyone wants to be Ahsoka.
No, I was like all about the Togrutas because I was like, oh my god, I can make them purple. Oh, that's so awesome.
Yes, I have like 5 of them that are stuck at level 10. They're like purplish of different shades.
Yeah. So, yeah, I gotta get on it. My Mary Ellen is still at, I think, level, I don't know, 26 or something. My Zabrak is at 26. Or no, I'm sorry, my Ratataki, right? Yeah.
I forgot.
And my Maraluka IA is still really far down too.
Right.
So.
I actually finally have a level 70 Cathar. I had to use the stupid Datacron, Master Datacron thingy to get it there, but I have one. Otherwise, it was never going to happen because their hair customizations freaking suck. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
It's no kidding.
Horrible.
It's tough to
Those
make a
ones are
good looking
horrible.
Cathar, but if you do it, you can actually get a pretty. I mean, some of them can be pretty scary, and some
I
of
had
them
to
can
do
be
a male one though because I could not find a female one that I wouldn't delete.
right. Yeah, no, especially with lower
Since I
body
spent
types,
that
they
much
just
money.
seem like they're emaciated. You know, like the
Yeah.
body type 1, body type 2, they just seem so thin. It seems to me for those. I don't know. Looking at mine, I think I tend to roll mostly like. The ones I think that I've had a lot of trouble with specifically is the Miraluka. I've never ever played a Miraluka, and I can't. I don't ever want to, and it's because I think I would love to actually, but the last Miraluka that I loved was Visas Mar, and she was awesome, and the way that they had her, the veil or whatever was really cool. These ones in this game, they all just seem like they don't, like, if I've got like the leather strap one, it's not going to go with the majority of looks
It's the
for
one
armor.
with the least amount of eye coverage, and then make it female so you could buy the Visa Smart armor. I already bought it and unlocked it. Come on, Sechari.
I don't know.
Make it work.
Most Miraluka
Yes,
just
I
look
do
terrible
have
in
a
this game.
Miralukan. I just realized, and
I do
I
too.
did exactly that. I went out and bought that outfit.
The
because
Visa
it's
Samara
a
one.
really good one.
But mind you, I play 3 servers, so it's not like you're going to see all the ones I talk about because you guys aren't on those servers.
See, now, if they ever put the Visa Smart set on for direct sale, I will probably pick it up, and at that point, I think I could roll a Mirror Luca, but I don't think I would otherwise. And I have some trouble with
on the GTN for it.
With the Ratataki. They just seem too. I think just as a species, they're ugly. Sorry, I'm a speciesist too, but I just I think if they could have some hair, maybe, I don't know. The jewelry just seems too heavy, and with the jewelry and the tattoos, there's too much there for me, I think. So
you know what, I actually like mine. My daughter made mine for me. She went all in with like the nose ring and the chain back to the earring one, and like I just, if it seems like if you gotta go, go big or go home.
I think if you put a hood on one.
Yes, and then if you wear, she has the hooded armor or the the hood.
Yes, I have the last Handmaiden's armor on mine, so I could actually look at her without being like.
Yeah, so she looks pretty sweet in a with a hood on, I have to say.
Right. So anyway, that's me. I don't know. Like I tend also not to roll cyborgs as well, because if I have to pick between both of those human looks, one with the tattoos like on the Sith side, or like the bounty hunter, they've got some pretty cool tattoo options, that, or if I was to pick some kind of something, and the cybernetics don't seem that robust. Like if they were more and they were cooler, I may do it. I don't know. I've not been impressed with what's there in the starting options, so I've never.
I don't like any of them. What do you mean? You want bigger? You got the ones like upper nose.
Oh, cooler! Like something like Theron Shawn is pretty cool.
That would be freaking sweet. If I had Theron Shawn's, or like a soul patch, like some kind of technology that was a soul patch, a perfect one.
Like a cybernetic beard.
That'd be freaking sweet.
I actually like the one that's like a eye patch without straps. I use that for my trooper. Makes my trooper look pretty BA.
Yeah, I think if you're customizing a specific tune, maybe you can find something. There's one where it's got the cybernetic kind of wraps around the side of the eye. It's very simple. I like that look.
That is the one I have on my Merc.
I helped Magic Hubby make a cyborg that I actually really liked. But he made it with the intention of her being called Iron Maiden, and he had a cyborg armor set that I had and didn't want. And I was like, well, why don't you make a tune? You like cyborgs. He's like, okay, because most of his tunes were cyborgs. So he's like, okay, and so he made it like that, and I actually liked her. But since I can't replicate that, I won't make one.
How very interesting. So anyway, like I find that's the discussion topic this episode, is to talk about what all people like and what all people wish they could do so that they could get those looks that they want to get. So we'll dig into that a little bit more here in a second. Lise, would you like to lead us through the question of the week? I'll send it to chat and we'll go from there.
Yes. So this week we asked the community, what new character customization options would you like to have? Now, for the community, you got to choose all the apply. Chat does not get that option. I'm sorry, everyone. You can only choose one. So
right.
And if you choose other, please put so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right? We're going with numbers and not A, B, C, D, right?
No. It's ABC going to chat. So.
Oh boy! All right. So
I is other options.
Make sure you say what option you would choose in that slot. So please vote, chat. But for the choices are: A is full body tattoos, B is jewelry options, C is body hair, D is more male hairstyles, E is more facial hair options. I am so tired. More eye colors.
G.
More races.
H.
More pattern options and other options not listed. I am so tired. Okay, go on.
That's what you call pocket healing right there. Oh, goodness.
What's funny is in our chat, I said, hey, I think Elise needs my coffee.
Oh man.
The problem was now. So if you want to take part in the chat poll, if you took part in the online poll, you got to select multiple ones, and I can't even remember what I picked. If I was to boil it down to one, that's going to be more complicated, I think. How many votes for body hair have we had so far?
Just
You
red
mean
nose.
in the chat?
Yeah, I don't know. In chat, I guess. Yeah, body hair. Let's
Well,
see.
I will answer as I would have because mine is the one in there as body hair.
Really? I want more back hair.
I don't want any body hair. All we've got is these prepubescent boys running around the galaxy acting like men.
Well, actually, there was a couple on Reddit. So a couple of choices was body hair, and actually one of them was like in all caps. They said chest hair with exclamation point, all in
Chest
capital
hair.
letters.
I want to be a man.
I want a real
Clearly.
soul patch, not this like Fu Manchu long thingy that got coming down here. I'm like, I want a real soul patch. Like until they put that in there, I'm gonna cry about it and have a strongly worded tweet.
Yeah, I'm amazed I don't have the Musco, because Eric Musco has an itty bitty soul patch thing right here, and dude, it's Musco. How can they not have that in there? Goodness. Yeah.
Maybe it was clean shaven when they made that, so they didn't see it.
That was funny.
So they there was some other ones for additional races on Reddit. There were a couple of cool ones. Someone asked for weapon sound as a separate slot and voice modulation as a separate slot.
Oh, like separated out from helmets. That's interesting to think of
Yeah.
it from that way. Yeah.
That you could, I guess, choose.
Yeah.
If you want
It
to
was
high
going to be
pitch or low pitch.
modulated. You could choose what it was.
Wow, that would be a lot.
Someone said, again, remove the cyborg race and just add as an option for all races. So you could, it would
Here,
just
here.
be like makeup or jewelry.
Yeah, I never understood why not everybody had the option for cybernetics. You know, like you've got tattoos, you've got piercings, and then there should be
Yeah.
a cybernetic slider.
Isn't the guy in S&V like old Teg or something like that? Isn't he like a cyborg Twi'lek or something like that? Like I'm pretty sure someone in the
Yeah.
game I've seen a cyborg Twi'lek.
Oh, there's that one. It's one of the Forged Alliance's flashpoints, but there's cybernetic Cellcath. You know, they have explored this idea, and it is out there. So I don't know.
What else? Someone said they wanted a beard for Twi'lek. He said before anyone goes talking about canon, go ahead and remind yourself the fact this game isn't canon, so anything goes.
Clever.
Hey, I like it.
Somebody else said I want hair options for Ratataki. It's already canon that I don't know how to say. Ventress shaved her head. So that was someone's statement.
Those
Then there
cartoons, those are considered canon. Oi! I miss my books.
Okay, so I want to make sure that chat knows this tonight. Everybody who has joined us in chat, feel free to like brainstorm. If there's anything that occurs to you that you would love to see on a character that just customizes the way they look, that's not armor related, feel free to put it in chat. And we'll, in some of the ones that stand out to us, we will make sure to mention.
And it is worth mentioning that Ventress is Dothamirian. She's not Ratataki. Just, heads up.
Yep.
Oh, she's a
Love y'all long
Dathomir witch. Is that
Yes,
her background?
she's not Ratataki. Which is why she doesn't have the ritualistic tattoos that they have. She has her own simple markings.
Right.
someone else was all about having jewelry available for all the races.
Yeah, my
someone
Twi'lek
else.
needs earrings. Okay, she's pretty.
I like Lady
She's-
Daney. Lady Daney's got it right. I want to be a porg.
Yeah, I want to be a T7 droid running around.
I just want to get
fighting-
back on topic.
fighting for
and
the
not
Sith.
Not be that.
All right, are we
So
good?
has everybody voted? Does anybody else want to vote? You've got a couple of seconds. Go for it, quick.
All
When
right,
in
so
doubt, press C.
yeah. Body hair. So, all right. So let's talk really briefly about how we answered this, the four of us, and then what we'll do is we'll send answers to chat, and then we'll look at the poll results from the week poll that we put out there. I tell you what. Let's start with Elise because she seems like she knows what she's doing.
As opposed to for obvious
yeah, exactly.
Well, because I forgot to put the makeup options on there, I would have picked other options not listed because I don't know who like put together the makeup combinations, but they are ratchet. I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it. They are bad. And
that lower lips thing is very interesting to me. It's very sippy.
No, I mean, I don't know what, whoever did it, I don't know what they were thinking. Clearly, no woman was involved, and I'm not even sure an adult man was either.
Some of them look cute, and some of them look just dumb. I cannot believe that whenever I pick tattoos for my Mary Ellen or patterns for my Twi'lek, that it's bound to the makeup.
Right.
What?
I mean, honestly, most of those makeup patterns, they look to me like memories I have of my baby sisters when they first got into my mom's makeup. You know, like this is how they put it on themselves and said, "Look, mommy, I'm pretty," and it's like, no, but you're very cute.
And the fact that they're like linked together,
well, see,
and oh my god, the Chiss makeup is just horrid.
You have
like the orange blush, I can't even.
And you have to strike a balance between the complexion and the makeup to get a good looking tune. I've found. So a lot of times you're like moving both of those sliders, trying to find the right option. Okay, there, I found it, and then you move on from there. Absolutely.
Jewelry would be another one for me. Hair options will always be an option for me. I do like also the male hairstyles idea. I only have like 2 guys, but it was kind of a challenge to make those 2 guys because you either had like the emo or the Final Fantasy dude hair, or like the short with the almost mullet, like the newfangled like 90s. Short in the front, longer in the back. Like, dude,
I've got the like faux hawk spike, the very short faux hawk spike, and then the like emo that not a boy has, like the emo down across your face. The only 2 hairstyles any of my guy tunes have.
Yeah, and that's it. And then my other guy is a Sith. So I mean, the hair choices with those, I thought were
the male hairstyles. Goodness, talk about. Tough to
there
pick.
you go. Sorry, I took all of them, so go ahead.
Magic, what about you? How would you have answered this?
Well, I said one's not listed because, like I said, I just am so frustrated. Like, I went to make a Mary Ellen whenever JT and I were joking about making a healer named Epic DPSness. And his tune that he was playing with when we made it was Mary Ellen. So I was like, I'll make a Mary Ellen too, because then it'll be even funnier. I don't know what my daughter's doing, but it sounds catastrophic. Anyways, I was like,
she's jug tanking.
I think she found my son's little metal toy and she's like banging it on the floor. But I was like, okay, I'll go make this. And when I tried to change the tattoo patterns, I found the tattoo pattern I want. There's only 2 options: no makeup or purplish makeup. And I'm like, okay, that is flattering on her skin, that I like the color that I picked for her skin. But what if I don't want purple? Like, I want her to be wearing white all the time. Why can't I have makeup that like kind of reflects that a little bit? Why is my makeup bound to her tattoos? I don't know anybody who makes their makeup match their tattoos. Why? What?
Unless your makeup is tattooed on.
Yeah, it's not.
Because there are people out there that tattoo on the eyebrows. I'm just saying. Just saying.
I know.
Usually they're 60 plus. Can't be bothered
exactly. So I wasn't gonna mention any ages.
Yeah, I know a chick who's younger than me who did it, and I was like, okay, let's not go there.
Are you sure you want to make a commitment like this? How's it going to look when it starts to droop?
Well, apparently you have to have it done every like 3 to 4 years, otherwise it just fades away. It's not like the same, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, that's a different topic and not even on our topic. So the other thing that just annoys me is when I was making a Twi'lek, her patterns like changed her makeup and stuff. I was like, why? So those should not affect each other in the least, in my opinion. So I would change that. Also, the cyborg thing, I would want every race to be a cyborg, because the only way you're ever going to see me make a cyborg character is if I can make just a cyborg character. Otherwise, it's not happening. The other thing I would change is obviously Cathar hair. And the fact that the Cathar and the Mary Allen somehow don't seem to have the beautiful long curly human hair, but the Chiss can have it, and the other ones that have hair can have it, but not those two. And I'm like, if those two had those hair, I would make more of them. I wouldn't just be stuck on Chiss.
Excuse me, ma'am. It's called fur.
Whatever. No, the fur is all from like here down. Right here is their mane, okay?
Right.
Okay.
Their mane. Yeah, I want a longer mane.
Did you say the hair on the Cathar? Because I forgot to say that. That has to go in.
That's what I said. Like, I would make it so that the Cathar could have some decent hair. And here, like I mentioned this before, they put out new options for the Cathar, and I thought, this is it. They're gonna have good hair. I went like I was gonna go buy it. I had cartel coins, and I looked at it. I'm like, seriously? It's basically the same 3 hairstyles with a slightly different cut in back. Why would I pay for this? I'm not paying for this. I was so frustrated. I was like, you guys got my hopes up, and you clearly said, screw you, Magic, and like ripped it up like that. And I was like, why?
So Magic is less than impressed, apparently, with the Cathar options.
People were ready to pay. I feel like it was a business tactic at first, that they're like, we're going to make it suck so bad that when we put out customizations, people will buy it. And so, like, if they would have stuck to that model and made really good hair, I would have paid money, not cartel coins from my sub coming up. I would have paid money to get those customizations. Instead, I got 3 freaking haircuts that are almost exactly the same. Ugh. And also, like, the whole, the thing they did with the Chiss, like, I liked how they put some new options in there. I was thankful that Chiss finally had some more, like, complexion options, because I felt like the Chiss were a bit neglected. I appreciate it, BioWare. Is there a way that maybe you can, I don't know, make it actually beautiful? Because some of the makeup looks like crap on the Chiss. I'm just saying.
Oh my god, horrible. Orange blush.
Yes,
orange blush, no kidding. On blue skin, right? No kidding.
I want to throw. Have a lot of choices because we're going to take up all the time just griping about the customization.
Well,
that's what I would change.
Let me mention something that Yad's Hero said here. More body type options, realistic ones. I think that's a good observation.
Yeah, I would like a more body type one, slightly more curvy instead of just rail. That would be great.
Yeah.
I want a slider for my gut. I've never had a 6-pack in my life, and I've never seen one in real life. So why do I have to see them every day in these damn video games? It's unrealistic.
He wants put away that
pop
keg.
some buttons on my shirt. Thank you.
Dad bod. I want to type 3.5. Body type 3.5 for men.
I'm just gonna say that ESO, you can give yourself an adjustable gut. Just saying.
It's in other games.
I'm not telling you to play it, but I'm just telling you.
Drink more beer,
it exists.
But I want it in a game that is enjoyable to play, because I did not enjoy that game at all. I did try it though.
All right, Redna, what about you? Let's see what you had to say about this.
I just told you. I want the slidable gut and I want body hair.
Really? That's
simple. I'm not joking. I want to, because
he wants a 5 head.
What does any of us want to do but represent ourselves within the game? I want to be in Star Wars. And quite frankly, I also want a slidable bar for my 5 head. Okay, not everybody has these dicky little foreheads.
Yeah, it's like receding hairline. Are you
proud 5 head and give me a slidable gut and give me some body hair so I can actually be a man. I grew up. I had to go through puberty, and I earned each of these hairs. Thank you very much.
Oh my goodness!
Thank God our characters don't go through puberty. This is not The Sims.
Oh my goodness.
Actually, I really do, because ironically, I've actually found a lot of little outfits with my covert top. So I would like to be able to show.
I want chest hair, darn it, that covert top.
Like Zangief in Street Fighter 2, you know? Like, all right, I got, man hair. Or who is that?
I've got the man hair.
the James Bond guy from the 90s. What was his name?
Oh, gosh.
You played.
You talking about Pierce Brosnan?
Yeah, no. Pierce Brosnan. He's got some manly chest hair.
Yes.
Like, give me some. I mean, I understand that I have to have pecs in the game, but at least let me put some hair on them.
This is getting awkward. So now we know Redna's stance. What does the chat room have to say?
Redna is apparently very serious about this body hair option.
If I had the option, I would even go so far as to say that I would like to have some options for the back hair. Because I do have 2 tiny little patches in 2 random locations on my back, And I'm okay. I'm proud. I am not ashamed of myself.
I don't want to see
I'll
that
put
on
it
fleet,
there.
okay? Are you gonna make a scad?
I want more
live
neck
option
beard
too?
options.
All right, let's move on. What's Chad have to say? Because this is getting weird.
So we'll send to chat what chat had. While they were doing that, let me answer this quickly. I
Right.
think for me, jewelry was definitely high up there. I want jewelry on some of the characters that don't have jewelry. I'd love to
Of
see
course, like I'm
some
cool,
of that.
man. I
Like,
want my characters to be cool too.
yeah, I'd like to, some earrings on guys. Goodness, like, give us some options here.
Word.
So,
I like
yeah.
that.
Yeah, absolutely. And then for the full body tattoos is one that really stood out to me. I like that idea. The first one that I ever heard that dropped that idea was Kid Lee. Kid Lee said, "Hey, what about full body tattoos?" And I'm like, "Oh my goodness, that is a great," because you get a lot of these covert gear. I mean, some arm tattoo. I think it'd be great to
likes
have.
that stuff. He gave my character on XCOM 2 tattoos. I'm like, I don't have tattoos. I don't like them. He's
You
like,
do
that's
now.
okay. This character does. Yeah, he like popped on my arm. He was like, well, you do now. I'm like, thanks. Right.
I mean, there's some stuff that they've done a lot of. Eye colors, for instance, there's a lot of that they've done. Hair options is a lot. I do think that what they've been rolling out recently with the hair options, there's a lot of like 1950s stuff because of the chist type thing where they got that whole hair roll on the side. That looks very 1950s to me, the whole style of it. I would love to see something for the men that doesn't, it's not far out there. I mean, like they had a lot of like typically or decently, male hairstyles. And then now they're doing like on the outer edges of, I don't know where, like all these weird hairstyles. I'm like, just give me more, decent male hair options. A lot of them, I'm just like, man, that guy looks too much like a, he looks like he's full of himself kind of a look, and I don't know.
I want Theron's pre-Umbara haircut, okay?
The faux.
Or pre-Capera, whatever. Like, yeah. I want that hair for a male. Otherwise, I'm just gonna have to have a strongly worded tweet.
All right, so we got to move it because we're running out of time here in a hurry. So, Elise, would you like to talk about what happened in chat, and then also the poll options, the poll results?
I can't see what happened in chat.
In the chat room, nobody did full body tattoos. We've got 2 for jewelry, 1 for body hair because that's the best, and I voted for it. No male hair, no facial hair, 1 eye color, 3 for the races, and then 2 for other. So definitely, I see a heavy leaning towards races in the chat room.
Right. All right. Let's talk about the poll results.
So the poll results for the community actually would mirror the more races with 400. So in total, we had more than 2,100 votes on this poll. I don't know if that's the highest, but
this might be a record for us. I thought this was really high.
We had one more that had a lot, like more than 1,000, but I can't remember if we hit 2 or not. But if this isn't our highest, it's got to be one of the highest responses. So.
Clearly people like it. This is great.
So more races was number 1 with 476 votes. Full body tattoos, or 22% of the total. Full body tattoos was number 2 with 270 votes, or 13%. More male hairstyles with 269 votes, or 13%. More facial hair options was next at 268, so just barely one less. The more hairstyles, male hairstyles, was 269. And that one was 268, or 13. Other options not listed was next with 203 votes, or 10% of the total. More pattern options. So that's like your mirror, your
Leku,
and your Twi'lek, with 200 votes, or 9%. Jury options was next with 198 votes, or 9% of the total. More eye colors at 169 votes, or 8%, and body hair was last with 79 votes, but still 79 people voted
for body
or
hair.
At least 79. There was 79 votes for body hair, although it wasn't just individual people because you could choose.
That was Redna logging in different computers.
That's why he had that sly look on his face.
That said, I agree with Redna, essentially. I want more body hair. So
I'm glad I'm not alone in the world.
So, okay, so what this poll does is it just kind of helps us to start distinguishing what ideas of the set were more popular than others. I mean, like one of the things I jumped on there and I said, hey, if you have any further details you'd like to share, if you checked other options not listed, let us know what they are. But Elise was watching on Reddit, and it seemed like people that did offer that input, it was all over the place. It's not any. It's kind of like you have to amalgamate it into that kind of a category. It's hard to dig into it.
I mean, more racist was frequently repeated, but it's not repeated a ton because people would just upvote. Do you know what I mean? Like,
right. So what's at the top is something that everyone thinks is the more popular.
Yeah, if somebody says something you agree with, you just upvote it instead of, whatever. But we had 58 responses on Reddit to the poll.
So races are important. People want to talk about races. Why don't we spend a second on that? I know that it's been a popular question for us to ask ourselves, those of us who are content producers, and we ask it of everybody. There's probably been 3 separate times on different occasions when I've done some interview or something, and we've asked, hey, if you could add a race, what would it be? I think we may have even had that conversation on this show before. I think Magic voted for Voss.
What was that?
So we've had it.
Voss?
Yeah, we've had it. I think somebody mentioned R2D2 ARM said in Nortland in chat. That would have actually been my personal choice as well.
Yeah, Notland was mentioned. Natolan or whatever it's called was mentioned.
Right. So, I mean, I've heard people say, oh, well, why not Wookiee? Because they've already got the sound bites in the game. You could do like a Wook. There are options, I suppose, things that they could do.
I'm having a crazy brain fart, but who's the species that Han shot first?
Rodian.
Rodian, yeah, that's one I think is be natural. I know
somebody else voted for that.
Wookiees have been asked for quite a bit too. I know that from a BioWare stance, one of the single biggest limitations that they put on any species that they would consider are those that speak Basic. Now, in the Clone Wars television series, there were a number of Rodians that do speak Basic, so there's no limitation there. And Nautilans speak Basic, a lot do. Now, the Wookiees would be inherently excluded at that stage because none of them are able to speak Basic.
So we'll never get a Thorian.
But they do. The thing is, they do have the sound bites that they could just use, instead. I know there's probably a lot of coding for that. I don't know if anyone wants to go back and reverse engineer.
And they said they wouldn't
really
do
want
it.
to see them as Calig.
They said they wouldn't do it inherently because it's not an enjoyable experience to listen to a Wookiee roaring continuously for all of your own characters.
For all of eternity.
I would argue that that's debatable and let the person make the choice, but still that's the decision that they've made public anyway. Of course, we all know that BioWare has a tendency to do the exact opposite of what it says, so maybe we will get to be Wookiees at some point.
Maybe they're just saying that so they don't have to put a timestamp on it, so that way if it doesn't come for another year or so, nobody can complain that they didn't make it on time. They'll be like, we didn't even tell you it was going to happen. Surprise!
Let me ask you guys about age. Let's just throw these things out there. Do you think that there is a need for us to be able to age our characters a little bit? It seems to me that everything is kind of mid-20s in age, maybe early 30s. Should we be able to create someone who, like Grand Marshal Chiquetta, the guy at the end of the Balmoran story?
I think that would depend on the class, because, like, the Inquisitor, it leads you to believe the person is very young. They were a slave who was born into slavery, and they get to a certain age, and they're, instead of being in trouble, they're tried as a Sith, and they get sent to the academy. In the Sith Empire, if you're Force sensitive, they find out when you're very young and send you. So aging a character at that point would kind of change the story, in my opinion.
That's a good observation.
I think that would be tricky. I think it would have to be only certain classes, like how they have, like only bounty hunters could have the like certain tattoos, or only.
Yeah, you'd expect a bounty hunter to be a little bit weathered, right? That's what I would expect. Like I would probably use that on a bounty hunter,
too.
A trooper probably. I'd like to be able to age a trooper a little bit grizzled and.
Yeah, so I think there's like at least that, and maybe the 2 Jedi. Like maybe they shouldn't have those. Like maybe the 2 Jedi and the Sith Warrior, they shouldn't have the aging. But on the other classes, I think aging would be okay, like the agent, that kind of stuff. I think because of Force sensitive, they always try to do it at such an early age, so it would be kind of counterproductive to age those characters.
No, that's a great argument. I think that's a good counterpoint on that. Just say, hey, open it up for everybody. Doesn't make sense to have somebody old. Hey, I'm I'm not going to drop an age, but I'm age. I'm further along in years, and I'm just now discovered as a Force sensitive. This doesn't make any sense. So, I don't know. Let's see here. Let's talk about.
By the way, I would actually like to see a Lasat in the game. Zeb Aurelios from Rebels. He's a Lasat, and those are actually really cool looking. I would love to be able to play one of them.
I would like an Arcanian. A lot of people have no idea what those are, but from the original Knights of the Old Republic comic book, Arcanians was a very prominent species that was in that, and I thought they were awesome. The armor set on the cartel market, Jariel, she was an Arcanian offshoot, and I'm like, you already got armor in there. Come on, give us Arcanians, pretty please.
I was going to say, what about jewelry? Are we happy with jewelry where it is?
No.
I would like more, but that's not my
particularly
priority.
on the frickin' Togruta, you have 3 choices, and
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
it.
that kind of sucks.
It's pathetic.
In fact, I can show something while we are talking about it. Yeah. Because one of the things I did is I went through and actually recorded a video or two that I could show while we were talking about this, and I'm sending to chat right now a video of the different Togruta jewelry options. There's essentially one that looks kind of like a crown. Now you can change the color of it. You can change between like a bronze and a gold and a silver. But there's essentially 3 or 4 different options, I guess, with their respective colors, which I thought was a little bit restrictive.
I'm sorry, it's lame.
In that sense.
Sorry. For me, eye colors, I would like more choices, but B, I would like to be able to have some of the kind of iris, like, patterns or whatever, to be able to interchange
like
that.
Lana Beniko?
I mean, yeah, like with hazel eyes, you get kind of like the white striations or whatever,
Okay.
having that.
So maybe like
of the higher detail in the being able to, choose that as opposed to just a flat eye color.
So like a base color and maybe a highlight, or a base color
Right.
and a
Right.
flare of some kind, right?
Yeah,
that's
that
a
would
good
be
idea.
super cool. And that's one of the things that I love playing with the Dragon Age Inquisition, was putting in opposites on the color wheel, and it just really made the eyes really look really cool when you would whatever. And of course we already talked about the makeup, but I'm not going to go more into it, but really, like, BioWare, you have to do something about the makeup choices.
The makeup, right? Yeah. Because yellow and orange.
Sorry, sad and pathetic.
Yeah.
I mean, at the very least, make it so that you can change the intensity instead of having to flip through each complexion
very strong
to
maroon.
do it. Like having a slider with, the intensity, and maybe you want to go for a natural color. Maybe your trooper is like a, all business girl and just wants some mascara or, whatever, or nothing.
I have actually been able to make a female human character look really good with makeup, with not using any makeup, because what I was able to do, it's kind of closer to the end, but it's one of the what is the word, the complexions. There's like a one that almost looks like a very makeup-y complexion, but then you turn the makeup off and it actually gives you a very decent look with her. But yeah, I know, I'm with you. Like, I rarely use any kind of color, like, this one's way too strong. It's like, usually the idea with the makeup is you're trying to make it subtle. Even I know that, and I'm a guy. So,
I mean, you want to go full-on goth, that's all cool.
Right.
But, it's hard to make a full-on goth, following my general makeup rules, which is if you're going to go all in for the eyes, you go subtle with the lips, and it's hard to do that. I mean, you got to do the weird lip thing.
Let's be honest. Where the hell is the black lipstick?
I know.
I mean, this is a really simple one that could be on every single female class. Black lipstick, easy peasy.
Guy liner. Thank you. Yeah, it's guy liner, baby. I want more guy liner. I've done it. I want it in my tunes. And also bows for males here. Let's make sure we put that in there as well.
Someone on Reddit said they wanted to be able to change the length of the Togruta.
So now, that's an issue I have had. There is, and I keep going back to Balmora for some reason, but later on in the planetary story arc for Balmora, you on the Imperial side, you come across a male Togruta Jedi Master who is there to stop you. And
There's one on Taurus too.
Yeah, he's got the long ones that go all the way down to his belt. And I was like, man, he looks fantastic. He looks like a monster. I'm like, I want to play that guy. And then, so I was so excited when they were going to bring out, hey, we're going to bring out the Togruta as a playable race. And then all of the male options were just like kind of like a crown type of thing where there's a lot more on top of the head, and it's maybe just down to the collarbones on the Montrells. I was very disappointed with the male Togruta look. And I'm sorry, Redna, because I know you've got Shaq Bro, who is one that you play quite frequently.
I still totally agree with you. I think, honestly, the introduction of the Togruta was one of the least diverse option sets that they've ever introduced for any species, and woefully incomplete. Like, they really should give some kind of... I mean, you've got... I don't know.
They did well with the patterns and the coloring. The patterns and the face coloring versus the whole headpiece coloring. I thought they did a very good job with. Mm-hmm. The only thing with the Togruta that I was... so there's two things I was disappointed with. One was the length of the male's Montrells. I wish that was better. And two was the jewelry. I was very underwhelmed with the jewelry.
Well, the male Twi'lek Leku also looks kind of weird. I've always disliked it. I can make a female Twi'lek, but not a male.
Somebody else, just off topic slightly, but someone else said something about the Mirrorlika eye covers. He said that are not, or they said that are not ugly, and then they added 2 letters. I'm not sure if it's kosher for me to say them on my air.
All right.
Probably not.
You fill in those 2 letters.
Someone says guy liner, and I have to say that would be funny. But they kind of do have guy liner, because I pick almost the exact same customization option for any male that's available on whenever you do the what are those called? The things we talked about with aging before we started this.
Complexion.
Thank you. Complexion.
I couldn't think of that word a moment ago too.
There's a complexion option. There's a complexion option that looks like you have lip liner and eyeliner, and I put it on all my male tunes because it makes them because I always pick dark side. I don't have any light side guys except for one on Shadowlands or Starforge, whatever it is now. But so for all my other tunes, they're all dark side. So I picked the guy liner option. It also comes with lip liner, but guys can have lip liner, right?
Tell you what,
I like that one.
Tell you what, to wrap this thing up, let us on a scale of 1 to 10, we'll go around the room. And talk about where would you put, like, if you took the whole thing, the whole enchilada, and in the Star Wars character customization options, what score would you give them on a scale of 1 to 10? Elise, what about you?
You mean the character creator overall?
Everything, with your ability, the character creator.
Overall,
compared to other games, what would you give it?
5.
Okay, Redna, what about you?
I'd probably give it. I can give it a 6 or a 7. I've certainly seen worse, but it's certainly not. I'd say 6.
Okay.
7, 8, 9, 10 is a little too high in my opinion.
Okay, Magic. What about you?
I would definitely say 7 to 7.5, because they have added in stuff that up their score. Had they not added in everything that they have, it would definitely be down like a 4. But I've played Mass Effect 3 multiple times. Mass Effect 1 and 2. They can do worse. I've seen it because they have. So comparing those two, I'd say there's absolutely no way I could give them lower than a 5. But personally, I'd say 7 to 7.5. If they fixed a few things, I would easily say 10, because I've tried making characters in other games, and if I can't make a character that I really like, I'm probably not going to keep playing that game. It's just not going to make it past that.
That is actually very true, especially for girls.
And I remember playing. I remember Star Wars Galaxies. The kind of customization you could do on a character that way was fantastic. The character design in Galaxies was great. I think in with that as my point of reference, I think I would definitely give this probably about a 5 or 6 as well. I think there's a lot. I think introducing more, not just they do a lot in hairstyles, do other stuff. I think the more diverse they were, the better this would get, I think. Just throw every now and then. Here's some more options for this, like they do, but they're just usually eye colors right now, and hairstyles. They need to do something else. I think they would get the score up.
Well, and they recently upgraded like all their tech and whatnot. So I mean, they put money into it, so they can afford. Well, I mean, I don't know about afford, but they have the ability to make better stuff. And I've got to say that I wish that the new hairstyles that they put out meshed better with the colors. Sometimes they just don't look quite right. And I checked them on my high graphics computer and on my low graphics computer, and they both have this almost like fading in places. Like especially the new hairstyles, like the buns and stuff, and like there's like fading where the hair color doesn't look quite right. That annoys me. They can fix that. If they did that on purpose, I wish that they would fix it. If they didn't do it on purpose, I wish that they would fix it. Okay. That's what I have to say about it.
Yeah, I think so. Between us, we all have varying degrees of saltiness and unsaltiness, and it is what it is.
But overall, though, I freaking love it because there's no way I'd put that much time into this game if I didn't love the characters I was cranking out. So if that says anything at all, I can complain all day long. But at the end of this, I'm still paying money to this game and still making new tunes on different servers. So
absolutely.
I think the reason why I gave it a 5 is because there are free-to-play games that have a better character creator. So
all right.
I'm, there you go. So.
Well, we're definitely getting to we are past the end of our hour, so let's go ahead and wrap up. I do want to make sure everybody knows, those of you who are with us and are live, this by the time we get this published, obviously it'll be too late. Tomorrow in the afternoon, what is the date tomorrow? The 13th. 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. Eric Musco and Charles Boyd are going to do a live stream. With talking about 5.8 and what all is coming there. So absolutely tune into that. Twitch.tv/SWTOR on the official SWTOR channel. They will do a live stream again. The time there is 2 p.m. Pacific or 5 p.m. Eastern. Make adjustments for whatever time zone that you are in. They will get on there and talk about 5.8. So I'm excited to actually be able to see that. So definitely. Magic to you.
In case if you guys haven't been around long enough to know what I'm about to say, I'll tell you, you better stick around. Thank you to everyone who downloads our episodes, watches us on YouTube, goes to our Patreon page and considers and or gives. But most of all, thank you guys for showing up live, participating in chat, doing our straw poll. Thank you for listening to us and or looking at our beautiful faces and sometimes interesting hair. We appreciate it.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you for loving this game. Thank you for loving this show. And we love you guys. Thank you.
And that brings us to the end of the episode. The council is adjourned. If you'd like to reach us, you can email us at thecouncil@thecouncilswotor.com. You can find Elise on Twitter at abrown35, Magic Ace at the Magic Ace, me at R3DN4, and Sechari at I am Sechari. Don't forget to visit our website, www.thecouncilswotor.com, and follow us on social media. Also, don't forget our Patreon page at patreon.com/thecouncilswotor. That's it for this week, guys. It is only here that I can control them. A family in balance, day with night, destruction replaced by creation.
See you guys. Have a great week.
Long live the Empire.
I understand.
You are on this council, but we do not grant you the rank of master.
What? How can you do this? This is outrageous. It's unfair. How can you be on the council and not be a master?
Take a seat, young Skywalker.
Forgive me, Master.